Hi, Hansani. So you are going to sit for the internship interview in the near future. So we can start our mock interview for the internship. I mean, at the internship level. So you can start with giving me a brief about yourself and also some of your academics.
Uh, Good evening, sir. And first of all, thank you for this opportunity. And I'm an undergraduate at Sri Lanka Institute of Information Technology. And currently, I'm in my fourth year, first semester. And I'm interested in full stack web development. And when it comes to the projects I have done during my academic semesters, uh, my very first project was an wildlife safari trip management system using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and PHP. And, and after that, I contributed to a online music store web application, which was a four-member group project, and we used Java, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and also MySQL for that project. Apart from that group project, I developed a online event planning system using the same technologies as a solo project during that semester. And after that, we moved to MERN stack projects mainly. And my very first MERN stack project was medical center management system, which was a 8-member group project. And we used Material UI for the stylings. And as a academic assignment, we developed timetable management system, only the backend part. And the front end application we developed using used to display the data fetched from the NASA APIs. And after that, I contributed to two MERN stack projects, code complexity measuring tool. And in that project, we used Monaco code editor to get the user inputs. And the last project was waste management system using Stack. And apart from that, we developed a mobile application using Flutter, and the backend was using Node.js, and the backend was hosted in the Vercel. And we used MongoDB for the database. And apart from the assignment requirement, we got the opportunity to contribute to a volunteering project, which is also a mobile application. Actually, we did the same project with advanced features for the mobile application we did for the assignment. they, they are about my projects.
Okay, that's good. So you have contributed about 4 or 5 projects. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
They most of them were group projects.
right. So what was your role if of each project? Like everything was like full stack development to the front end,
Yes.
to bit of front end, to bit of back end too, and database for all the
Yes,
projects.
sir.
Or
Yes,
okay,
sir. I contributed for like a full stack developer in every project.
right. So what was the most familiar JavaScript framework for the front end you used,
React,
and the back end?
Node.js,
Okay, and the database, Mongo or SQL?
MongoDB.
Okay. All right, that's good. So in your academics, have you I mean, we can come back to the projects you worked on with some technical skills, but before that, I would like to know about some of your academic skills before going with the technical skills, so we can match up with um, things you have completed in your academics to what you have done in your projects, right? Um,
Okay.
have you? I think you already have completed the data structures and algorithm
Yes,
module,
sir.
right?
Yes.
Because I'm asking that because that is key module or a set of skills we need to have as an intern, because when we are going to work in the industry as an intern with that skill level. I mean, that skill level would be very helpful for you
Yes.
to sustain your work working environment in your company or in your position. So can you mention what are the data structures you know so far?
I have learned about stacks and queues,
Mhm.
um, linked lists.
Okay.
Yeah, they are the complex data structures, and we have learned about arrays and objects as uh, normal data structures.
Right. So have you used those things in your projects while you are doing developments?
Uh, Not specifically. I have used arrays and objects, but stacks and queues actually I haven't implemented it specifically.
Right. Yeah. Um, can you differentiate simply the array and object, or can you give me some differentiation between arrays and object? At what point you need to use array, and what point you need to use an object?
Uh, Object is a collection of attributes and methods. Uh, in arrays, we have a fixed size for array, and if we create an array, we have to specifically say what is the data type of the array, and in an object, there may be different types of data like integers, strings, and all the types like in the attribute section. And we use the objects to initialize some instances and create instances of a class.
Do you know about any kind of data structure language, specific to create objects and arrays in JavaScript? Any kind of notation
Mm,
you can follow to create them? Not sure?
is that like arrow functions?
No, I mean a kind of notation. So you can use that notation to declare JavaScript um, objects and arrays, which is, I actually gave you some letters of the synonym. We call it JSON. So JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. And you can declare JSON objects and JSON arrays in JavaScript. What JSON has it has a set of rules, so you can follow them and declare a JSON object or an array. Then it would be support for any kind of data transition between multiple lengths. So it would be accepted as JSON object or an array. So you can continue the process easily, right? Um, what are the uh, different kind of algorithms you know?
uh, Merge sort algorithm, quick sort algorithm, um,
Yeah, those are sorting algorithms. Any other types of it?
bubble sort,
Mhm. Any searching algorithms you know?
binary search algorithm.
Okay. Can you differentiate the binary algorithm with the normal or linear algorithm? I mean, the binary search algorithm with linear search algorithm. What's the difference?
Uh, in the binary search algorithm, the array is divided into two parts. Like when we are searching, it is much faster than the linear search, and we cannot access a specific element in binary directly in binary search, but in linear search we can access a specific specific element using indexes. And when it comes to linear search, it is really difficult if the data set is really large. And binary search, since it is dividing the data array into two, and searching it is really fast, and those are the differences, main differences.
Right. So if you calculate the time, I mean the worst case, the average case, and best case, the binary search algorithm would give you the best case, right? And also the average case, as I remember. That's why we rate the binary search algorithm to the top over the linear search algorithm. Okay. You mentioned about bubble sort. Can you remember the big O notation or the performance notation about bubble sort?
Bubble sort is order of n square.
N square. Yes, correct. Do you know why?
It has two for loops, like
One
inner
inside the
loop.
other.
Yes,
Yeah.
nested for loops.
Yeah. Since you have nested for loops, you have
Yes.
n number of times again against n number of times. So you have n times n, which is n square. Okay, good. During your academics, have you completed your database
Yes. Sir.
core modules?
Yes.
Um, can you remember what is the triggers in MySQL? Have you used triggers so far?
Triggers. Yeah, I have learned that. Triggers are already defined kind of functions that when uh, if I take an example, when data is inserting to a database, if we have write a function to check that one, it will trigger automatically when the user enters data and uh, check those data's validity of that data.
Okay, that's kind of an example. And have you ever heard about SQL injection?
Yeah.
That's a one big security threat rated by the OWASP, right? And do you know about how we can prevent those SQL injections in a website using a website?
We can write prepared statements for prevent that one, and also we can like use ORMs like sequelize.
Okay, and by using that,
We can map the without writing the SQL queries. We can map the um, map the schemas to a database using sequelize.
map the database schemas to objects, right? That's
Yes.
why we use ORM. Okay. Um, we can jump into some technical questions because I think you have much more experience in full stack development since you have involved in multiple different kind of projects. Since you have worked in React.js as front-end developer, as a full stack developer, you obviously have used React.js. So I think you have some knowledge about React.js. Do you know what are the what is the difference between class components and functional components?
Uh, Actually, I haven't used class components in my development, and when it comes to class components, uh, they use all the life. We have to implement all the life cycle methods in a class, and in functional components, we don't implement everything. We can use the state hooks where necessary.
Right. What are the React hooks you know?
Use state and use effect. Those are the hooks I have used.
And when you need to use state?
When there's um, the dynamic, like if we take inputs to the component, like inside a component, if it is changing state, we use state hook to manage the state of a component.
Right. And when you use effect?
Use effect is used to manage the side effects to a component.
In a component. Okay. When you create JSX part or HTML part in a React component, I think you already have used parent-child architecture, right? You can create one component separately, and you can
Yes.
inject that component as a child component to so that the other component would become the parent component. And how you can pass some states from the parent component to child component or vice versa, how you can pass it.
Using props.
Okay. Can a prop be editable?
Yes.
How you can edit a prop?
Uh, like when we are implementing the parent component, we initialize the props and give default values to that. And when we are reusing that one we can pass override the default values.
And that values are still props or states in the parent component.
Um, they are states.
Right. So you edit the state, right? Not the prop,
Oh,
because
okay.
props are read only, right? So I mean, yes, you can edit the prop, but actually you are going to edit the state that would become the new version of the prop. So you can see the prop is updated, but you actually update the state that would reflect the prop eventually. Okay. Um, can you pass functions as props or just some constants or values?
I think we can pass functions also.
Right? Because if you need to trigger something through I mean, from the child component to the parent component, you always have to pass a function, right? Uh, Apart from use state as a state management tool that you can use in a specific component, have you ever used any other state management tool to manage the state across multiple components, like through the whole
Uh,
application?
I haven't used that one, but it is Redux.
Mhm.
We can use Redux for that.
You have heard about Redux, but never used it so far?
Yes. Yeah, I haven't used that.
Okay. Uh, do you know about any other state management tools apart from Redux?
Um, React query. I-
Okay, kind of. But I'm going to the context API that React has, like natively has. Um, a tool like context API, we can handle the state management as well. Anyway, I think you have good knowledge about React because those answers are mostly tallying with your experience, and since you have done a pretty much good number of projects in your academics, I expected you have that knowledge. That's good. And in JavaScript, do you know how we can? I mean, let's start with arrow function since you mentioned it in previous question. What is arrow function and how when you need to use it?
we can use arrow functions to simplify the logic inside. Like we are using functions, and we can use arrow functions to simplify the same function and write the code. And also we don't need a function name also, and we can assign the function to a constant when using arrow functions.
Mhm. So you can declare an arrow function to a constant.
Yes.
Right. Do you know about JavaScript's map function?
Yeah, I have used that one.
Right. So you have an array and you have array.map function. What it does usually.
It loops through the array, and I have used that when there's a data set, and if I want to display those data in a table, I would say. And when it comes to displaying data, we can't write data one by one. When in that case, we can use map function and loop through the array and display all the data.
So simply you can use the map function to return another array by processing the original array in a certain way, according to whatever the logic it is, right? So you can transform one array to another array using map function so that that map function would be act like a display thing, like you mentioned in a table. So you can transform a row and row array to a displayable set of table rows. That's one use case of it. Okay. Have you used JavaScript um, find method?
Yes.
And what it does usually?
It's like I have used it when we want to find some value, like in a table, and we can pass the table column value to that one, and search whether that value is available in that one, and find the value.
Yeah, I mean, actually, you need to submit the array, like table means you need to submit the array that produce the data to the table to find something, and it returns the object in the array, object or the particular item matched with the find logic in the array, right? Okay. Um, in JavaScript, we can use the fetch API to fetch some data from the backend, right? I mean, you can create a REST API through your backend, and you can submit to the front end. In the front end, you can integrate that endpoint using the JavaScript native fetch API, so you can get that data. Have you used any other tools apart from fetch API to integrate APIs in the front end?
I have used Axios for that one.
And what's the difference, or what's the advantage you would see by using
Uh,
Axios over Fetch API?
I think I haven't used Fetch API, and Axios is much simpler than Fetch API, I think. Uh, According to the theories I have known,
Right. Yeah, I mean,
we
that's
need
not wrong.
we don't
Axios is
need to
simple. Yeah, go
specifically
ahead.
mention everything when it comes to Axios, but I heard that in Fetch API we have to specifically mention everything what it should be there when the request is when we are requesting an API.
Okay. Um, you mentioned React query at some point in a different question. Have you used React query so far?
Not yet, sir.
So you only heard about React query
Yeah,
during any discussion or any other material through
yeah,
any other resource? Okay, because
yes.
um, if you have used it, actually, that would become your next available tool, or next to your, well, maybe it would be your next favorite tool to integrate APIs like Axios. But Axios is a great tool, very strong tool to integrate APIs. But for actually to cache data on the front end or to persist data, you have to put some extra logic, so extra effort to write some code to do them if you use Axios. But when it comes to React Query, if you use React Query to integrate APIs, it provides much better mechanisms for persistent data in the front end. And one thing you need to search about when you do React Query, you can also find Redux Query, which is I think it comes with the name RTK Query. That's another powerful tool you can use to integrate APIs, because in the industry, most of the projects we use either Redux Query or React Query over Axios, because Axios is still a powerful tool, but the other two are much better now. Right.
Okay.
Let's go to the backend. You used Node.js.
Yes.
Do you know about cross-origin resource sharing, or in simple terms, CORS?
It's like I got the issue when I'm developing that one a very first time. Like when we are connecting the front end and back end, we have to define which port is listening to this back end, and only that port will connect to the front end and back end. Like. Mm,
Yeah, that's a part of it. I mean, that's one result you can see or you will get when your cross-origin resource sharing policy is actually being in an active stage. So when that happens, you 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 need to match with multiple domains. If you're using multiple domains, you have to match them before sharing any resource between two ends. Like you have backend in one domain, and if you have the front end in another domain, domain could be changed even with the different power ports as you mentioned. So if you change the port, I mean, obviously you have to change the port if you are using the same domain, like if the host is same like your local host. So your port would be two different ports, and then it would become two different domains. And then the cross-origin resource sharing would act like as a barrier to share resource between them. And how you can resolve it in Node.js? Like how you can allow,
in
yeah,
like we can specify the port numbers which the front end is listening to, and allow
using
that one.
using what module, or let's say using what framework? Have you used any specific frameworks in Node.js to deal with these REST APIs?
Think I don't remember the name.
I think you might have used it, even though you can't remember. It's Express, right? We need to use
Yes.
Express to deal with REST APIs in Node.js. I mean, we can use as a latest tool, we can use um, Nest.js also. Nest.js provides so much better version of it. It's like a better version of Express, but still we can use Express to deal with REST APIs. And Express comes with those features, like you can deal with CORS, you can deal with um, any other necessary combination to use or to build proper REST APIs, set of REST APIs in your Node.js application. Um, since you mentioned you have dealt with MongoDB, what was the hosting platform you used so far? Like your local, or have you used Mongo Atlas?
MongoDB Atlas.
Okay. And how you can visualize the data set you have in the MongoDB Atlas? Either you can use MongoDB Atlas directly, or have you used any tools like Mongo Compass or MongoDB Compass?
Mm, no, sir.
Okay. You mentioned about object relational mapping or ORM. Have you used any other ORM except serialize?
I haven't used that
I mean
sequelize.
sequelize, sorry. Yeah.
No, sir, I haven't used that.
Any other thing apart from sequelize? No. Okay. Good. So do you see any critical difference or major difference between Node, I mean not Node, but MongoDB and MySQL database? If you have given a scenario with, if you have been given a scenario with store a large amount of data set, like let's say you have, you need to store around 10 gigabytes of data, and you have to think about storing them in a way so you can quickly go through the data set and find one data or find one instance among them. And another requirement is you need to structure them, structure the database in a way that set of data set is related to another set of data set or is related to multiple data sets at the same time. So one data set is related to another data set. So I mean, with a given data set, you can chunk them into multiple parts, and each part could be related to another one part or another multiple parts at the same time. So you have to deal with these relations as well. So in that case, like my first question is, I have two questions. First question is, based on this scenario, um, what would you choose, um, MongoDB or MySQL? And what's the difference if you choose the other one?
In For the first question, I think I will select MySQL because we can separate data into different tables and make the connection using foreign keys. And when it comes to MongoDB, we store data as documents, and if there are multiple relationships among documents, we have to create, there should be an attribute like the ID of the related documents in the object, the particular document. Um, that will be much complex uh, than using MySQL for this scenario, I think.
Okay, good answer. When you use MongoDB in the Node.js, I mean, when you use MySQL in Node.js or any other database, if you have some query parameters coming through a get endpoint, you can filter the data set using SQL select command, and also you can use the where query, where clause to filter the query and get the filtered data set, and you can provide it, right? How you
Yes.
can do that in MongoDB? How you can filter a data set?
One way is we can use find by ID and filter that data.
Mhm. Any other method you can think about? I mean, what if you don't know the ID? Like, let's say we have a data set, um, let's say a list of students in a document, and the query parameter would be student's name, and the value is a name of a student. And how you can cache the name of the student through the query parameter called student name, and how you can find the particular student using that student name.
We can use find method and pass the name as the value.
Okay. Have you used match property, the MongoDB object, instance object? So you
I
can,
have used that.
right. So you can create an object including that student name, and you can provide the student name as the value for the property, and you can provide that object to the match
Okay.
instance, right? Yeah. In MySQL, you can join multiple tables using join clause, right?
Yeah.
You can use either left join or inner join or different joins you have, or you can just use join and to join multiple two tables, and you can filter them as well. How you can join multiple documents in MongoDB? Have you uh, done something like that?
No, I think I haven't done.
Okay, it's okay. Uh, in MongoDB, you can use lookup to look up with another document using a foreign field. You can provide the foreign field and the primary field in the lookup object, and you can mention uh, the other document you are looking for. And then also you can declare alias for the lookup table, and you can call that alias. So you will be called, I mean, you will call the lookup table, and you can filter the data just like the normal way. Right. The time is almost reached up to the expected time we have. Um, I have one question. This is not related to any technical stuff. Um, we have so many different job roles in software engineering field. Like, so we have software development, we have QA engineering, we have UI UX, we have DevOps, we have business analyst, and among all of them, why did you choose software engineering or software developer?
First thing is I love coding, and also I like develop front end and back end both, and get the idea of how it is working, and connect both back end and front end together. And also I think it will be beneficial when I'm developing in my career as well. That's why I selected.
Okay, all right. Cool. Before finishing the interview, do you have any question for me?
Would you like to give me a feedback about this interview?
Sure. I mean, that's the whole idea behind the mock interviews, right? So I have a feedback. Um, so within this interview, within this recording, I will give you a short feedback, like a remark. Um, so if I conduct an interview and if I'm looking for an intern who can do full stack development in ReactJS and Node.js and MongoDB, I would choose you because I think you have good knowledge at your stage, at this level, at an internship level. You have a good knowledge about all of those things, including you have a good academic knowledge as well. As I can evaluate you with this level, I mean, I can evaluate you much more in different levels by giving you some assessments. But without that, with this time frame we have to conduct this interview, I think you are a good potential candidate to find a good find a internship role in a good company. So yes, that's a plus mark for you. And I think this interview would have been even much more better if you say directly no to the things you don't know for the questions. So that's one thing you can improve because because we need to save our time, right? We can directly go to the other question if you don't know the thing what I'm asking, because even I don't know all the questions if I'm sitting for an interview in my level, right? That's okay if you say no. The point is you need to say no right after if you feels like that's one thing I don't know, right? Before, like, going around and think about, most of the times that can happen because if it is something you know but you can't remember, then you
Yes.
hesitate to say no because you actually know it. You hesitate to say don't know because you know it, but still you can't remember it. And even that, you can say, I know, but I can't remember, right after the point you need to say that. That's one thing you can improve. And also, I think with a real interview, you can be more prepared for the real interview with, going around other your academic stuff as well as your some project stuff as well. Yeah, that's I can give you as a quick remark. And after that, I can share this interview recording with you so you can go through it and check what you can improve